How you doing out there? How you doing? Welcome to the Frankie Russo pre-show number 89. Crazy stuff going on all week. You can see, you just can't make this stuff up, quite frankly. You got to join America's Team today and get a T-shirt. RussoNation.tv. Join America's Team and get a T-shirt. RussoNation.tv. You got to do this, okay? This is the Frankie Russo pre-show number 89. Crazy stuff. Before I get into, I always got my whiteboard with me because I want to go over more deeply into Benghazi. I got all this stuff going on and crazy. So just to give you a quick hit on this, on the board, the whiteboard, I got fraudulent Secret Service card bomber, statistically significant illegal president, Clinton Foundation, Russia, Iranian global terror network. Now, I got the Iranian surrogates, Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the Quds Force, General Soleimani, CARE, ISNA, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Iran. I got a lot of Iranian surrogates. And then over here, I got the 5 transactions that I believe makes this statistically significant, that the Iranian global terror network is real. Its Operation Zero Footprint ain't the case. It is huge. And Obama, Hillary Clinton, the co-presidents, Bill Clinton, they're all right there. And then we got the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. We got the 5 Quds Force leaders that were released in Erbil, Iraq. We got the Bergdahl trade with Qatar al-Numani, the Qatari national. The Bergdahl trade, those 5 Afghan Taliban were sent to Qatar. And just for an example, there's a Qatari national named al-Numani who's a terror financier deemed by United States Treasury Department. And he gave over $2 million to the Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which we know is ISIS. And in addition, there's that's one aspect. And then he gave hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to Yassin al-Suri. Yassin al-Suri is one of the leaders of the Al-Qaeda Iran nexus in Zahedan, Iran. So this is crazy. And then we got Hamas, the Palestinian Authority government, all that, hundreds of millions of dollars coming from the Obama administration through the wavering of the federal statutes that prohibit money of United States taxpayers' dollars going to Hamas, a designated terrorist entity. He waived them through national security and humanitarian aid. He did the same thing with Syria. $500 million. Hundreds of millions of dollars to these terrorist entities. Crazy stuff. And then we got Benghazi covered. So I want to talk about Benghazi tonight. All right. First thing. The Benghazi attacks on September 11, 2012. Now, just to understand this stuff is real. There's a reason why we need to go deeply into this. It not only, but for the grace of God, the unfortunate killing of 4 Americans. In addition, there's some other things that we've got to go over to understand further. What is this government up to, you know? It's crazy. Okay, so Benghazi attacks. The Benghazi attacks on September 11, 2012. The precursor to the attacks. The Gaddafi coup d'etat. So everybody understands, at the time, this was 2012 was the Benghazi attacks. The precursor, that's before the attacks, was the Gaddafi coup d'etat. Now, the Gaddafi coup d'etat was in 2011. Okay? And then we had the event, the Benghazi attacks in September 11, 2012, and the not too publicized the after effect, the attacks on the United States Embassy in Tunisia, September 14th, 2012. So these are the three aspects we're going to go over. But I'm going to focus on the first two more, and then with time remaining, I'll get into the attacks on the United States Embassy in Tunisia. So, Benghazi, the precursor. I spoke about last week, Claire Lopez, just to go over some of the stuff. With Claire Lopez, we have Obama-Clinton administration plus Saudi Arabia, Turkey, plus Qatar equals material support. That's United States money, that's dollars, and weapons to the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, LIFG, an Al-Qaeda affiliate. Okay? This is the first time, according to Claire Lopez, that we switched sides based on September 11th, where we had the Afghan Taliban, the Al-Qaeda affiliate of Afghan Taliban, with being materially supported by Iran before, during, and after the terrorist attack, the unfortunate attacks on the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Now, according to Claire Lopez, she's a 30 years CIA. She's with the Citizens Commission on Benghazi. This lady is amazing. She's claiming that this is material support for Al-Qaeda. The case. This is the first time we've supported. This is the first time we've changed sides, and we're giving material support to Al-Qaeda, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, and an Al-Qaeda affiliate. So they dropped bombs on the unfortunate hit on September 11th, 2001, and the Obama administration with Hillary Clinton, the Obama-Clinton administration, is materially supporting the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, an Al-Qaeda affiliate. First time in 10 years since. This is the first time we switched sides, according to Claire Lopez. We have switched sides. So this has created a problem, because understand now, the precursor is the Gaddafi coup d'etat. Now, this Libyan Islamic Fighting Group is the group that has I'm going to mention three names. Two names. Abu Qatala, Ben Kumu, and there's then there's the LIFG's military commander. He's Muslim Brotherhood. I have to find his. I got to find his name. I'll get his name. Here it is. Okay, I'll get it right now. His name is Abdel Hakim. Abdel Hakim. Okay? So he's the LIFG's military commander. All right? So basically what has happened is this, all in a nutshell, okay? In 2007, we had this Gitmo detainee, Ben Kumu. I'm going to give you a little, right? In 2007, we had this Gitmo detainee, Ben Kumu. He was released from Gitmo, sent to the Tripoli prisons in Libya. and was released because of the reconciliation process or whatever by Gaddafi in Libya. The Obama administration and according to what I read, his son told Gaddafi to release all these jihadists in 2010, and he did that. Little did they know they were planning a coup d'etat backed by the Obama-Clinton administration, arms and money to the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group to take out Gaddafi. Okay? So bin Kumu was one of those guys, right? And then we had the gentleman that I mentioned, Abdel Hakim. Abdel Hakim, I got it. Abdel Hakim. He's the mastermind. Okay? One of them anyway. And it's the Obama Clinton administration backed, so that's one aspect, okay? So now remember, Benghazi was 2012. We're backing with Qatari, whom we have this weapons agreement with, a big weapons agreement with, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatari, United States. This is supposed to be a zero footprint operation? I don't think so. So it's Obama, Clinton administration, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Qatari, materially supporting the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group to take out Gaddafi. And they took out Gaddafi. They were successful doing that. Now, just before we move this further, the second part to this, the Obama-Clinton administration backed Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, an Al-Qaeda affiliate, their military commander, according to Claire Lopez, sold weapons that they had garnered from the U.S., Saudi, Turkey, Qatari group back to the Gaddafi regime. Back to the Gaddafi regime. In order to keep his actions, in order for the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group's military commander to keep his actions a secret, he commissions Abu Khatala. Abu Khatala is the gentleman, I say gentleman, it's not a gentleman, is the perpetrator, well, according to what the Obama administration is saying, he's the major perpetrator of Benghazi, which isn't the case. He's what you call a button guy. He does the whacking. The Libyan Islamic Fighting Group military commander commissions Abu Khatala, an alleged Benghazi perpetrator, and he whacks the Gaddafi general. Unbelievable, right? So, and Gaddafi as well. Gaddafi's taken out. The LIFG commander takes over, and that's where we're at with the precursor. So, with this, just to recap, the precursor is the Gaddafi coup d'etat, and we got people like I said earlier, from the 2007 Gitmo, he was a 2007 Gitmo detainee released, and he was sent to the Tripoli prisons in Libya. And then in 2010, Gaddafi released him and many other jihadists, and they ended up doing a coup d'etat on him, led by the LIFG, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, backed by Obama, Clinton administration, the Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatari. And we have, as you know, the Obama administration has a big weapons deal with Qatar. Okay, so And just to give you a little backdrop, Ben Kumu, the LIFG, from the 2000, just remember that name, Ben Kumu, Safran Ben Kumu, and Abu Katala. Okay? So this is the precursor, the Gaddafi coup d'etat, to the event, Benghazi event. Okay? Just to give you a little backdrop. So now, just to understand, Gaddafi's taken out the Libyan Islamic fighting group. There's many jihadists, according to what my understanding, based on the Claire Lopez's presentation and other well-sourced materials I've looked at. The amount of jihadists in Libya at this time were unbelievable. There were a lot of jihadists there at this time. Presumably one of the reasons why, anyway, was that reconciliation process we talked about when Gaddafi, who had a coup d'etat, I think in '69 when he took over Libya, it was like he was celebrating his 41 years in power. So he just started releasing all these jihadists that were giving him a hard time in the 80s and the 90s, and they ended up taking him out. So now Gaddafi's gone, right? Gaddafi's gone, and they got these weapons. Remember that. Keep that in your mind now. Gaddafi's gone. The Libyan Islamic fighting group was one of the major groups. Is my understanding the major group in this Gaddafi coup d'état based on Claire Lopez. Now, that was in 2011. The precursor to the event, the attack on the Benghazi mission. September 11th, 2012. What do we know? The State Department was aware of the Benghazi terrorist attack, the planning of the Benghazi terrorist attack 10 days in advance. So they knew, the State Department knew, according to all the data that's come out, that they were planning to do a terrorist attack on the Benghazi mission 10 days in advance. Ruse number one. For those who don't understand what the word ruse is, like a deception, it's like a subterfuge, it's like a distraction, a false, a straw man, a Trojan horse. It's false. It's not what it appears to be. Okay? Ruse number one. Obama, Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice claimed that Benghazi attack was due to a video mocking Muhammad. We know that was not true. Totally not true. Ruse number two. The other video. Al-Qaeda leader Dr. al-Zawahiri sends a video out calling for revenge for the death of bin Laden confidant Abu Yahya al-Libi. And it so happens that Reuters.com did a story on them on September 11, 2012, did a story on him. So this is another ruse. This is another way of the Obama administration, the media elite, getting us off the truth, getting us off to what really happened. Instead, it was an Al-Qaeda affiliate, Ansar al-Sharia, America. Ansar al-Sharia, America. Because conceivably, this Libyan fighting group, it's my understanding, Ben Kumu in Derna, he's from Derna, Libya. Abu Katala is involved with the Ansar al-Sharia, so maybe this Conceivably, this Libyan Islamic fighting group metamorphosized into Ansar al-Sharia in Libya, responsible for the Benghazi attacks. According to the Clinton emails, U.S. Treasury Department, State Department, and nctc.gov website. It's most likely, highly probable, with extreme, this, in other words, it's statistically significant that it was Ansar al-Sharia, an al-Qaeda affiliate, that put the unfortunate attack on Benghazi that killed 4 Americans. Okay? And as I said a few minutes ago, the Libyan Islamic fighting group's button man, which metamorphosizes into the Ansar al-Sharia button man, Abu Qatala, is not the mastermind. He's not the ringleader. He's not the guy behind this thing. But they took him in. They took him in. He was captured. He went before a district court, and I guess he's awaiting trial. Abu Qatala. The Libyan fighting group, which metamorphosized conceivably into Ansar al-Sharia, Safran bin Kumu, he's, like I said earlier, he's from 2007. He goes way back to the Afghan Taliban fight against the Soviet Union. He had affiliations conceivably in Sudan with bin Laden. And like I said earlier, 2007 Gitmo detainee, sent to Tripoli prison in Libya, reconciliation process, released by Gaddafi in 2010, but he's not the mastermind behind this thing. There's few speculations. One I have right now, I'm going to have more next week. The mastermind, I think one of them anyway, is Mohammed Jamil, the Egyptian Jamil network. This guy is heavily plugged in with Al-Qaeda and this gentleman named Muhsin Fadali and Yassin al-Zori. These two with the Mohammed Jamil gets us to the Al-Qaeda Iranian nexus, which is where they live. They're living in Iran in the Zahedan city of Iran, with the Afghan Taliban is there as well. So to understand this whole process, I get to Iran through Mohammed Jamil. That's how we get to Iran. Without even bringing in the next level, we get to Iran through Mohammed Jamil, Muhsin Fadali plus Yassin al-Sori. That gets us to the Al-Qaeda Iran nexus, the Al-Qaeda Iran network, which they are actually, these Al-Qaeda affiliates are actually living in Iran. Zahedan city of Iran. The Zahedan city of Iran. So we get to Iran through Mohammed Jamil. Now, Kenneth Tillerman's data is another level. This is the gentleman, the author of The Dark Forces, The Truth About Benghazi. Kenneth Tillerman's data, ruse number 3. Ruse number 3 is interesting because ruse number 3 is, remember there was rumor about the kidnapping of Ambassador Stevens, exchanging him for the Blind Sheik. There's a lot of rumor about that. And let's be real and honest, let's be real and honest. I think, quite frankly, the intelligence communities in some way communicate with each other, in some way, in some indirect way, in some roundabout way. The Iranian intelligence, the The Iranian intelligence communicates with the Western intelligence in some indirect or direct way to see if there's some sort of, because everybody's watching everybody, right? So let's just say hypothetically that maybe some sort of rumor came out and whatever, right? That there's going to be some sort of, so maybe, I mean, I don't know for a fact, because it appeared that, I mean, on all intents and purposes, on the outside looking in, that this Benghazi mission was like, the security was like pretty much non-existent, So maybe they were supposed to go in there and there was some sort of intelligence understanding that they were going to go in there and kidnap Ambassador Stevens and eventually exchange him for the blind sheik. And this way, Obama's facing re-election. This makes Obama look like a hero, and the radical Islamists are happy too. They get the blind sheik back. I mean, I don't know. It's something that I'm not saying it's far. I'm not saying that it's unequivocally true, but it's something to definitely consider. I believe. I'm not saying it's statistically significant, but it's close. It could be. I mean, I don't have any data to support that, but I do have this, according to Kenneth Tillerman. The ruse, according to Kenneth Tillerman, is the before the Benghazi attacks, the Red Crescent kidnapping of Iranians in Libya, the summer of 2012. Benghazi was in September. The summer of 2012. So there was a kidnapping. So it's like, what's going on? So there was a kidnapping called the Red Crescent. They're like the Red Cross of, it's my understanding, the Red Cross of, I guess, the Red Cross, I don't know exactly. That's a good question, though. The Red Crescent kidnapping of Iranians in Libya. Something with the Red Cross, similar group of the Red Crescent kidnapping of Iranians in Libya. Summer of 2012. And then they had a mysterious release after this horrific event of September 11, 2012. In October, these Iranians were mysteriously released. I don't know. That's another quandary. However, according to Kenneth Tillman's data, instead, this is what he feels went down in a nutshell. Iranian Quds Force and the Quds Force leader, General Soleimani, gets a sniff of weapons running to the U.S.-backed Syrian rebels. Right? So this kidnapping, it's my understanding, this Red Crescent kidnapping, maybe they weren't of the Red Cross, maybe they were Quds Force operatives, I don't know exactly. But maybe they were sniffing out this gun running to the U.S.-backed Syrian rebels. So, to take out the Assad regime in Syria. Conceivably, I believe that's statistically significant. Just based on the fact that the Congressional Research Service, Washington Free Beacon, claims that Iran gives Syria between $3.5 billion and $15 billion annually. So Assad is fronting for Iran. Syria basically is Iran. They're giving them $3.5 to $15 billion annually. So Iran sends $3.5 to $15 billion annually to Syria. Thus, Iranian Quds Force General Soleimani, leader General Soleimani, materially supported money plus weapons and training and saw al-Sharia, the killing of 4 Americans. Crazy. Think about that. That's crazy, man. Think about that. You got the precursor. We're backing. Well, yeah. The more I think about it, the more crazy. It's really it's insane. We're backing the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, headed by this guy, Muslim Brotherhood, Abdel Hakim, right? There's Ben Kumu, there's Hanas al-Libi. I don't know. According to Claire Lopez, there's a lot of radical jihadists in this region at the time of the Gaddafi coup d'etat, because, like I said earlier, the reconciliation process, Gaddafi was celebrating his 41 years of the 1969 coup d'etat when he took over Libya. So he released these guys, and the Obama administration and even his son wanted him to do this. Well, they ended up taking him out. Ben Kumu, Abdul Katala, and Abdel Hakim, the Muslim Brotherhood. So this is crazy stuff, because from the precursor, where we got the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group taking out Gaddafi, and then the killing of the Gaddafi general, giving the weapons to Gaddafi, selling the weapons to the Gaddafi regime, and then whacking the general, Abu Katala, according to Claire Lopez. That's in the precursor. And the Obama administration sells a massive amount of weapons to Qatari, and that's that group. Obama, Clinton administration, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatari materially support a Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, an Al-Qaeda affiliate. According to Claire Lopez, we switch sides. We're giving money. We're materially supporting Al-Qaeda now, who took out the World Trade Center building. Crazy stuff. Materially supported by Iran. Crazy. Now, from there we go to the attack, the event, the Benghazi attack on the Benghazi mission, the Benghazi attacks, and then we got all this, the ruses, first of all they knew 10 days ahead of time it was a terrorist attack. Then we got ruse number one, the Muhammad video, and then we got the doctor. Then the other video was doctors, the Al Qaeda leader, Dr. Zawahiri, called for revenge of Abu Yahya al-Libi's death, and wrote his article September 11, 2012, which the death of Abu Yahya al-Libi. It's crazy, but that's another ruse, another subterfuge, another distraction to the Al Qaeda affiliate Ansar al-Sharia, and was responsible for these Benghazi attacks. Clinton emails, U.S. Treasury Department, State Department, nctc.gov website. So the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group's button man metamorphosizes into Ansar al-Sharia. Abu Katala is not the mastermind, but even though they arrested him and he's in the district courts, he's facing trial. Libyan Islamic Fighting Group plus Ansar al-Sharia. Sufran Ben Kumu fought with his history is he fought with the Afghan Taliban against Soviet, goes back to Sudan with bin Laden. He's a mid to high level operative. He was a former 2007 Gitmo detainee. He was released, sent to Tripoli prison in Libya, and before the 2011 coup d'etat, the Gaddafi coup d'etat on Gaddafi, Gaddafi released all the jihadists from his prison, and so it's like 41 years in power, whatever. And I believe one of the masterminds, anyway, Mohammed Jamil, the Egyptian Jamil network, which has links to Mushin Fadali and Yassin al-Suri, the Al-Qaeda Iranian nexus, living in Iran, Zahedan city of Iran. So this is where this is how I get to Iran. And then the Kenneth Tillerman data gets us to General Soleimani and the Iranian Quds Force. And he talks about there was a kidnapping. Yeah, there was a kidnapping of the Red Crescent, kidnapping of the Iranians, because there was rumor about kidnapping Stevens and exchanging him, Ambassador Stevens exchanging him for the Blind Sheik, and we know that was just a rumor. And then instead, the Iranian Quds Force used this subterfuge, this Red Crescent kidnapping of Iranians in Libya, to sniff out the weapons running to the U.S.-backed Syrian rebels to take out Assad. And we know this is statistically significant because it's crazy. Because this group that we used, they gave weapons to Gaddafi, so they're always turning on you, though. They're always, like, even in Syria, if you remember correctly, we sent $500 million to the Syrian rebels, and they end up giving the weapons to Al Qaeda, and we only we had 50, and it dwindled down to like 5 fighters over there, from $500 million to the U.S.-backed Syrian rebels to take out Assad. So looking at this, it makes sense too, because this whole thing, it just unravels. It seems to unravel. Iran sends $3.5 billion to $15 billion annually. This is their Iran. It seems to be that Iran is trying to show the U.S., the Obama Clinton group with Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Qatari, that they're not the power in this region. They're trying to show them that Iran is the power. That's why I see this, because Iran's given 3.5 to 15 billion. The Iranian Quds Force with General Soleimani, zero footprint operation, materially supports, according to Kenneth Timmerman, money, weapons, and training to Ansar Sharia, killing 4 Americans. Crazy. Benghazi attacks. Okay, so we did the Benghazi. So the after effect, I'm going to go over next week because I want to get to ISIS. But I just want to say the after effect, attacks on U.S. Embassy in Tunisia. It's my understanding, my preliminary research on this, same Ansar al-Sharia crew in Benghazi attacks the U.S. Embassy in Tunisia on September 14th, 2012. We'll go over this next week, okay? We're going to go over this one next week, okay? I'll have more information on that, and we'll see if I get more data on this Benghazi thing. Because I just want to go over ISIS real quick, and then we're going to close out and get ready for the live show. ISIS. What do we know about ISIS? ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Mainstream media, Al-Qaeda in Iraq birthed ISIS. Okay? Keep that in mind as I give you some background data. U.S. Treasury Department, according to U.S. Treasury Department, Iranian Ministry of Intelligence and Security materially supported Al-Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS. According to the United States Treasury Department, Qatari national al-Numani, terror financier, provided $2 million weekly indefinitely to Al-Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS. In addition, al-Numani provides hundreds of thousands of dollars to Yassin al-Zohri, U.S. Treasury Department designated terrorist designee. Yassin al-Zohri, an Al-Qaeda affiliate, head of the Al-Qaeda Iranian network in Zahedan city of Iran. They live in Iran. Crazy, right? Investigative journalist Kenneth Timmerman, author of Dark Forces, Truth About Benghazi, he claims in an interview, Iranian Quds Force General Soleimani floats currency in Iraqi banks, and Iranian Quds Force garners $2 billion annually. That's Kenneth Timmerman. Now it's come out, Fox Business reports, U.S. dollars funneled through Iraq's central bank into Iranian banks, funneled to ISIS. Apparently, the U.S. dollars to Iraq was stopped. However, the U.S. dollars to Iraq was started up again. Crazy stuff, statistically significant. It can be construed based on this data, which I believe is statistically significant, that ISIS is basically a front for Iran. Iran doesn't want a Sunni militia to come out of the West that they do not have control over. So ISIS is their Sunni militia that they control, conceivably. Okay, so that's our pre-show. This is the Frankie Russo pre-show, number 89, America's Team.today. Join America's Team and get a t-shirt, RussoNation.tv. I'll see you all in about a half an hour. The Frankie Russo pre-show number 89. Yeah, yeah.